Hi people, how you all doing? Do you remember at the start of the US elections and the start of COVID and all the silliness and all that? And do you remember those people like me that used to talk about, let me think, the World Health Organization not following their own guidelines? I talked about that. I researched that at the time. Yes, yeah. Diligent I was. And on their guideline page, which has since been removed, but at the time it was there. I only wish I'd have screenshotted it so I could have shown you. But it gave them advice that in the event of a pandemic, the moment it leaves one country, that's it. They need to shut down. But they didn't. They allowed 3 weeks to go by so that the virus could take hold and get out of Wuhan. Yes, it was all meant to happen. All meant to happen. Do you remember when we talked about, back then I'm talking about, right in the infancy, when everybody else was buying into the bullshit from the BBC and all the other bought and paid for Rothschild news agencies, or the Freemason Luciferians, because that's what they are. They're all doing the will of the Freemasons, I can assure you. They're all following the script. They wouldn't dare go off tangent on that script because the truth just might come out then. So they're all following a script, just like an actor, just like they did with the Trade Center, all the news stations that were allowed to go there were all feeding you a false narrative. Because this is Satan's system after all. And do you think that Satan wants you to know the truth about what's really going on? He doesn't. Anyway, I've got this small video collection that I've put together. I'm not going to take credit for it because someone else has previously gone to a lot of hard work and done a 2 or 3 hour video on it, but I've just got a few snippets that you'll find very interesting. And it's all to do with the New World Order. Now, do you remember when we were talking about the New World Order right at the start? I've got videos on my hard drive, and we were talking about that New World Order, and we knew it was real. And I'll tell you something else, right? All the left media knew it was real. Everybody who's played a deception role since the US elections, all of them, they all knew that the New World Order was real. All the Hollywood A-listers, they knew it was real. All the pop stars, they knew it was real. And you know how I know? Because they were taking the piss out of you. The One Eye Club, all that shit. They were doing that on purpose because they wanted to have this little boast, because you're considered to them as nothing. You are the vulgar, the unwashed, and in their eyes, you're expendable. So I'm going to play this snippet for you shortly after I've had this little chat with you. Now, these snippets are about the New World Order, and they're about the most powerful people, what I call the global elites, all those that want to have a little boast about what they intend to do. And you're going to find it interesting, especially when George Soros tells you as early as he possibly could that China will be instrumental in this New World Order. Now, this, people, means only one thing: that the present United States government, who's recently got in power after Trump, had to have been working for this end. So the money that they were accused of taking, the Biden family, the crime family, it has to be real. They have to be in support of this new world order. And they also Freemason Luciferians. So they're very, very good at lying to you. In fact, they're world-class actors. So I'm going to play it for you now, and you make your own mind up. Bye-bye.
You've probably heard some talk about the New World Order. The media wants us to believe that this is a topic for conspiracy theorists, although it has been talked about for generations by presidents such as George Bush Sr., Nelson Mandela, and Bill Clinton.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
After 1989, President Bush said, and it's a phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world order.
That the affirmative task we have now is to actually create a new world order.
But also by the world's most famous philanthropists such as Cecil Rhodes, David Rockefeller, Henry Kissinger, and even George Soros.
I think you need a new world order, that China has to be part of the process of creating it, and they have to buy in, they have to own it.
Oh, how they boast about their new world order. Why did they boast about it openly like that? It's simple. They don't think they can fail. They don't think there's anybody capable of stopping them. Well, maybe there isn't a human that can stop them, because after all, they own all the most powerful businesses in the world. BlackRock, right at the top of the pyramid of power. The Rothschilds just about own everything, and they just get other names underneath to represent those businesses. But everything ultimately, the pyramid of power is BlackRock Incorporated and Vanguard Incorporated, investment banks, and they boast, and that, I'm afraid, could be their big mistake, because at the earliest opportunity, George Soros, he just couldn't help himself, could he? He had to tell you China is going to be the next world power. That's what he's telling you. He's actually saying to America and Americans, you're finished. He's telling you you're finished. How else can you read that? So that means he's putting all his investments and all his mockers, all his friends, he's putting everything into China. Now it makes perfect sense that the Bidens were bought and paid for by China, by the CCP, who think are going to be the next world power, along with Russia. But they're not, because there isn't going to be another human world power after the United States and Great Britain. That is the last human world power. And as soon as you understand that, and as soon as you get some spirituality, you might just fare well. But don't expect China to be the dominant world power. They won't be given the chance. Support the next world power, non-human world power. Because humans, they just want war, perpetual war. We want something better. We want a celestial world power, a spirit being world power who rules over us. Not to be ruled over by greedy bureaucrats and warmongering bastards, nations like Russia, America, Great Britain, all the warmongering, hypocritical nations of the world. We don't want that. They just want to keep you locked in fear for as long as they can until this New World Order plan is fully realised. And then, will they care about you then? No. Because they probably have plans to decimate you. Somehow they'll reduce the population of the world. That is where this is going. And that film a few years ago about exposing the Freemasons and the April wearing ceremonies of the mysticisms that they do. That film and that director, he was giving you a warning. People that are also giving you warnings at the moment, I will name them now. Russell Brand is giving you a warning. Hugo Talks is giving you a warning. Redacted is giving you a warning. Tucker Carlson is coming round. He's not fully awake because he's still part of the system, but he was still giving you a warning. Terrible things are going to occur. We're just in the infancy of man's attempt at his own new world order. And I'll tell you something else that is very significant. He's doing this alongside what he knows to be God's righteous new order that is coming along. He's trying to smokescreen and fool you with his own attempt. But it will fail. And I will be glad. See you.